I've negotiated real estate deals for hundreds of properties over the last few years in multiple cities across the country. And in this video, I'm going to give you the 5 things that you should not do when buying or negotiating a real estate deal. It doesn't matter if you're doing a wedge deal, a fix and flip, if you're wholesaling, or if you do rental arbitrage like me. Any of these will apply to you. The 5 things you should not do when investing in real estate in 2020. Let's jump in. Welcome back, Airbnb family, and of course all of you non-Airbnbers too. In this video, you're totally welcome as well. This video is squarely for you. So why focus on the don'ts is the first question before we get into these 5. And the reason why we should focus on what you should not be doing in real estate is because the rest of YouTube is telling you what to do. They're telling you what is a wedge deal, what's a fix and flip, how to wholesale, where are the best cities to buy investment properties for under $300,000, what's the best way to get cash on cash return, or what is the BRRRR method. Everybody's pushing what to do, like the follow them systems, but nobody's teaching you from experience what's going to cause you pain or trouble along the way. Nobody's teaching you how to avoid locking up hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of decades in bad real estate deals that you could have avoided if you were just smart on the front end. And that's why you need this video. So thanks in advance for the like on this video and subscribe if you're new. Let's jump into number 1. Number 1 is you cannot get too excited and take the first deal that goes in front of you. And I mean, like, it doesn't matter, like I said, if you're doing wedge deals, fix and flips, if you do rental arbitrage like me, do not just take the first deal. The advantage in being a shrewd buyer is to get the pick of the litter. You need to have offers to compare to the one you are looking at. If you are in a seller's market and you can only get one house, that's probably not the right time to buy a house anyway, is it? Right? So you want to look for where you have the advantage. And if you can't compare deals, you can't identify your solid advantage in the deal. So you need multiple offers, multiple deals to look at, and then from there, you get the pick of the litter. Being a good, solid buyer is half of making money. It's not just selling real estate for more, it's buying for less. Number 2, don't just sign the first contract that you're given. I don't care, again, if you're doing, fix and flips, you're buying, or you do rental arbitrage like me. You need to make sure that you read your contracts because this stuff isn't just standard. A lot of people who are new investors tend to be naive and think that the paperwork, the black and white, is always the same. Like everybody gets the same deal. And no, that's not how contracts work. I deal with landlords who are unethical and shady all of the time in rental arbitrage. Like in Philadelphia especially, I've got bad landlords who like to get one-ups on their tenants. Now sellers can be the same way. If a landlord's gonna screw a tenant with bad leases, you think they're gonna try to screw a buyer? Absolutely. And I have friends who've bought homes in Philadelphia and they were very upset with what they discovered after the fact. And if they would have read their contract, they could have changed the language of the contract to protect themselves against some of these unknowns. So going through your contract will make sure that you're not waiving any of your rights, that you're not paying for things that you shouldn't be paying for, and that everything is gonna go exactly the way that you've imagined it, down to the dollar and down to the day. Read those contracts, it'll save you a ton of trouble. And it'll also help you ask the right questions. Sometimes the hints are in the contract and you can ask the right questions after reading what somebody's up to with their contracts. Number 3, do not come out of pocket for anything sooner than you need to and do not pay more than you need to. You want to negotiate to drive your costs down as much as possible. My best friend really loves seller's contributions when he sells homes or when he buys homes, actually. So he's a buyer's agent. And so he loves getting seller's contributions because that helps get better cash on cash return. I like getting upfront lease concessions or getting my security deposits waived when I pick up a batch of apartments to do rental arbitrage. Knowing that you can get things for cheaper or get things for less is a key advantage in real estate. See, don't just take deals at face value and don't just pay what people ask you to pay. Everybody's giving you what they want. That's the offer. Everybody always puts out what they want, best case scenario. You're supposed to negotiate from there. So guard your money. And if you do this properly, the amount of money that you can save in these real estate deals can snowball into you getting more deals, more doors, more real estate, because you can save money and put that money towards other real estate deals. So don't just get out of pocket and throw it in the middle because you want that property so bad. Slow it down, look for opportunities to lower your costs and take advantage of those opportunities. You make a ton more money, especially if you go in percentages. You're using leverage and you only put $4,000 on a property instead of $8,000 on a property, and that property goes up in $50,000 in value. You actually doubled your return on investment there. You didn't just, save $4,000. You doubled your return on investment. That's huge stuff. So think about it, save your money. Number 4, do not copy somebody's real estate investment strategy and just make it your own. Don't go willy-nilly and just copy your friends and go, hey, this looks good. Because the thing is homes are bought and sold at different times, under different circumstances, in different locations. And just because your friend had a good deal once, doesn't mean that you can copy or replicate that deal. I see tons of copycats lose tons of money because they missed a window of opportunity that somebody else took advantage of. And that could cause you ultimately to lose money because you get into a bad deal that looked a lot like a good deal that your friend did. So when you pick your real estate investment strategy, your path, you need to do your homework. You should study all of the different types of real estate investment that's out there and get a good head on your shoulders for what they all can do, what the pros and cons and weaknesses are. See, that way you may decide to do wedge deals. You may decide to force appreciation in upcoming markets. You may decide to do fix and flips. You may decide to do wholesaling, or you may decide to not buy property like me and do rental arbitrage. There's opportunity in all of them, but they all have their own key advantages, and you need to know how to use them all. It's like painting with colors. They're each a color on your palette, and to have the options gives you way more control over what your final product is going to be, and that final product is your real estate portfolio. So choose your path, do your homework first. You only get to put your money in play once, right? And then you gotta wait for that money to come back to you. So by not understanding everything you possibly can about real estate before you put your money in the middle, that will cost you time and thus money in the long run. And number 5, do not miss the opportunity to connect and converse with your real estate friends down in the comments of this video, and don't miss another video. Subscribe for more. Thank you for watching Airbnb Automated, and I'll see you on the other side.